Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 motorcycles you will never want to sell. Number 12. Honda Rebel 500. The Honda Rebel 500 is one of those bikes that hooks you from day one. The appeal starts with how easy it is to live with. The seat sits low, the ergonomics feel relaxed, and it never asks much from the rider. In city traffic it stays calm and light, and on weekend highways it holds a steady rhythm without stress. It has a style that stays relevant for years, which is a big reason people hold on to it longer than they planned. Riders in the US market also like how cheap it is to insure, which keeps the overall cost in check month after month. The engine brings in the real charm. The parallel twin is smooth, steady, and has enough pull for daily rides without feeling harsh. It builds power in a clean way and keeps fuel costs low. Owners regularly report strong mileage for mixed riding, and the motor has a solid record for long-term use. That mix of calm power and low upkeep is a rare combo in this price range. Money matters, and the Rebel 500 makes that case well. A new one sits in the mid-$6,000 zone, which puts it far under many cruisers that do far less for the rider. The maintenance parts stay cheap, and the bike is known for keeping its value on the used market because demand stays high. People who pick it up often find no reason to trade it in for anything else, since it already fits daily life without draining the wallet. What seals the deal is how personal the bike becomes over time. It accepts mods with ease, holds up well under steady use, and keeps that clean style for years. This is the kind of ride that stays in the garage because it never gives a reason to let it go. Number 11. Yamaha XSR700. The Yamaha XSR700 wins riders over with a mix of retro charm and modern performance packed into a simple layout. It sets the tone the moment you sit on it. The upright seat, slim tank, and light feel make it a bike that works for daily rides across American cities and long weekend loops alike. It looks classic without feeling old, and the build quality holds strong over the years. Many riders end up keeping it because it ages well both in looks and in upkeep. The engine brings solid confidence. The twin-cylinder setup is known for smooth power and instant response, which makes it lively without being tiring. It gives enough strength for highway runs while staying calm in stop-and-go traffic. Fuel use stays modest, and the motor has a clear track record for long life. Owners often praise how little fuss it gives and how steady the performance stays even after heavy use. In terms of cost, the XSR700 sits in the high $8,000 range when new, which puts it in a sweet spot for riders who want quality without stepping into pricey territory. Routine service stays affordable, and the bike holds good resale value because demand for this model stays consistent across the US market. People rarely sell it unless they need something with a very different purpose, since it already covers most riding needs with ease. What keeps it in the garage year after year is how complete it feels. It works as a commuter, a weekend ride, and a long-term companion that does not drain the wallet. Its mix of style, comfort, and reliable power creates a bond that is hard to replace. Number 10. Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is one of those bikes that stays in a rider's life far longer than planned because it balances power, comfort, and value in a clean and steady way. It feels right the moment you get on it. The seat height works for most riders, the bars sit in a relaxed spot, and the chassis feels light but planted. In US traffic it moves with ease, slipping through tight gaps without effort, and on open roads it holds a calm and confident line. The engine is the heart of why people hold on to this machine. The V-twin has a warm, smooth pulse and gives torque in a way that feels natural at low and mid speeds. It never feels jumpy, yet it has enough strength to handle daily highway use without strain. Fuel use stays fair, and the motor has a long record for dependability when treated with routine care. Many riders pass well over high mileage without seeing major issues, which builds trust that is hard to replace. When it comes to cost, the SV650 sits around the low $8,000 area when new, making it one of the best deals in its class. Parts stay affordable and maintenance does not take much out of the wallet. It also keeps strong value on the used market because riders know it is a safe buy with proven durability. What keeps it in the garage for years is how balanced it feels. It works for commuting, weekend fun, and long-term ownership without pushing costs up. The SV650 blends comfort, strength, and low upkeep in a way that makes parting with it feel unnecessary. Number 9. Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. The Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 pulls riders in with a calm, classic feel and a build that suits long-term ownership. It stands out with a low seat, wide bars, and a steady stance that works well for riders across the US who want comfort without a high price tag. The riding position stays relaxed, and the bike feels planted on both smooth streets and uneven back roads. Its design keeps a clean look that does not age fast, which is a big reason owners hold on to it. The engine plays a strong part in its appeal. The 650 twin brings smooth and calm power that fits steady cruising without any sharp behavior. It pulls clean from low speeds and keeps a steady rhythm at highway pace. Fuel use stays modest for a mid-size cruiser, and the motor has shown a solid record for lasting many miles when given basic care. Money is a major factor, and the Super Meteor 650 delivers well here. In the US market, it sits near the mid-$7,000 range depending on trim. That makes it far more approachable than many bigger cruisers while still giving a strong feel. Running costs stay low because parts and service prices are gentle on the wallet. What keeps it in the garage is the overall feel. It is calm, steady, and comfortable, and it asks very little in return. Owners often find it fits daily rides, weekend stretches, and relaxed long miles without adding pressure to the bank account. Once it settles into a rider's life, there is rarely a reason to let it go. Number 8. Yamaha V Star 250. The Yamaha V Star 250 hooks riders with its light feel, easy control, and low cost that makes it one of the simplest cruisers to own in the US. It starts with comfort. The low seat and narrow frame help new and seasoned riders alike move through traffic without strain. It stays steady at low speeds, which makes daily city use smooth even for shorter commutes. The classic cruiser shape holds up well over time, and owners often keep it longer than expected because it asks so little in terms of effort. The engine keeps things friendly. The 250V twin is built for steady use, offering smooth pull in the lower range without any sudden spike in power. It works well for local rides and short highway hops while staying light on fuel. Riders appreciate that the motor stays cool, reliable, and easy to service. Many reach high mileage with nothing more than basic upkeep, which builds trust and makes selling it feel unnecessary. Cost is where the V Star 250 shines the most. A new one has sat in the low $4,000 area, which makes it one of the most budget-friendly cruisers on the market. Insurance stays low, parts stay cheap, and regular service rarely surprises you. Because the running costs are gentle, many owners hold on to it even after upgrading to a bigger bike. What keeps it around year after year is the mix of low cost, simple handling, and long-term dependability. It is one of the few bikes that stays useful long after the first excitement fades. Riders keep it because it works every time without draining the wallet. Number 7. Harley-Davidson Fat Boy 114. The Harley-Davidson Fat Boy 114 keeps riders hooked because it delivers a strong feel, a bold stance, and a level of comfort that makes it hard to replace once it becomes part of your life. It starts with presence. The wide wheels, low seat, and solid frame give it a look that American riders connect with right away. It feels heavy in a good way, planted and steady on long highways, and the riding position stays relaxed for hours. The engine is where the Fat Boy 114 proves its worth. The Milwaukee 8 114 brings strong torque at low speeds and pulls with ease even on open roads. It stays smooth for a big engine and responds well without needing constant effort from the rider. Riders trust this motor because it has a long record for lasting many miles with routine care. It keeps fuel use fair for its size and delivers a calm, steady push that fits long US highway rides. When it comes to money, the Fat Boy 114 sits in the high $20,000 zone when new, and while that may sound steep, owners often say it is worth every dollar because the bike holds its value well. Harley parts and service are widely available, and the resale market stays strong since buyers trust the model. Many owners choose not to sell it even after adding other bikes because it becomes the main ride for long, smooth miles. What keeps it in the garage long-term is the bond it builds. It feels solid, dependable, and special every time you take it out. Once you get used to its mix of comfort, power, and presence, there is little reason to let it go. Number 6. Honda Gold Wing. The Honda Gold Wing stands out as a long-distance machine that people hold onto for years because it mixes comfort, strong build quality, and steady performance in a way few touring bikes can match. The first thing US riders notice is how easy it feels once you start moving. The seating is relaxed, the wind protection is solid, and the suspension smooths out rough patches without effort. The engine keeps the reputation alive. The flat-six motor delivers smooth, quiet power that feels strong without harshness. It pulls clean at all speeds, handles heavy loads with ease, and keeps fuel use fair considering the size. The motor has a long history of lasting well past high mileage when given basic care, which adds to the sense of trust that owners rely on. Money matters for a big touring bike, and the Gold Wing sits in the high $20,000 area when new, depending on trim. Even so, owners often find the cost justified because the bike holds value well on the used market. The build quality also means fewer unexpected expenses over time, which helps keep long-term costs under control. What keeps it in the garage is the comfort it gives on every single ride. It becomes the bike you trust for long miles, early mornings, and cross-state runs. Once you settle into the way it rides, it is hard to find anything else that fills the same role. Number 5. Royal Enfield Classic 350. The Royal Enfield Classic 350 wins riders over with its calm feel, simple build, and a style that stays steady for years. It draws people in with a relaxed seat, upright bars, and a smooth ride that works well for daily use across US streets. The bike feels light to handle at low speeds and holds a stable line on open roads. Its shape stays clean and familiar, which is why owners rarely feel the urge to move on from it. The engine keeps things friendly. The 350's single-cylinder setup gives a steady pulse, gentle power, and smooth response in the lower range where most riders spend their time. It is not built for rush but for ease. The slow and steady nature makes it ideal for riders who want consistency more than speed. Cost is one of its biggest strengths. In the US market, the Classic 350 sits around the low $5,000 zone depending on trim. That makes it one of the most affordable retro-styled bikes available. Insurance costs stay low, maintenance stays simple, and parts prices do not put pressure on the wallet. Because the running costs stay gentle, many riders hold onto it even when they add bigger bikes later. What keeps it around is how dependable and calm it feels day after day. It asks very little, handles short and medium rides with ease, and keeps a warm, steady charm that does not fade. Riders often keep it because it does exactly what they need without adding stress or cost. Number 4. Triumph Street Twin. The Triumph Street Twin pulls riders in with its clean style, calm manners, and easy control that fits everyday US riding. It starts with comfort. The seat sits at a friendly height, the bars fall right into place, and the bike carries a light, balanced feel that works well in city traffic and open roads. The classic shape does not age quickly, and the build quality feels solid from the first mile. The engine adds to the bond. The twin-cylinder motor delivers a smooth push in the low and mid-range, which is exactly where most riders spend their time. It pulls strong enough for daily highway use but stays calm and predictable at slow speeds. Fuel use remains fair, and the motor has a solid record for long life when given basic care. Owners often cross high mileage without major issues, which builds long-term trust. Money plays a key role, and the Street Twin sits in the mid-$10,000 range in the US market when new. For a bike with this level of build quality, that price stays within reach for many riders. Insurance and routine service costs stay reasonable, and parts remain available without pushing expenses up. What keeps it in the garage year after year is the blend of comfort, style, and steady performance. It works for daily rides, weekend loops, and longer stretches without fuss. Once you get used to the smooth feel and clean character of the Street Twin, there is little reason to let it go. Number 3. Honda Shadow 750. The Honda Shadow 750 stays in a rider's life because it delivers comfort, steady performance, and a price that makes long-term ownership easy. The first thing US riders notice is how relaxed it feels. The low seat, wide bars, and smooth weight balance make slow moves simple, and the bike stays comfortable even on long city stretches. The shape has a classic look that does not fade, and the build quality holds up well over the years. Owners often hold on to it because it becomes a calm, familiar part of daily riding. The engine keeps the trust going. The V-twin gives a smooth pull in the low and mid-range, which is where most cruiser riders spend their time. It never feels stressed and has enough strength for steady highway runs while staying predictable in traffic. Fuel use is fair for its size, and the motor has a long history of lasting many miles with basic care. Riders value it because it keeps working without trouble. When it comes to cost, the Shadow 750 has long sat in the mid-$8,000 zone when new. That puts it within reach for many riders who want a dependable cruiser without paying premium prices. Insurance stays low, parts are easy to find across the US, and routine service rarely brings surprises. The used market also treats it well since buyers know the model has a strong record for reliability. What keeps it in the garage is the comfort and low-pressure ownership. It is simple to ride, easy to maintain, and steady across all kinds of daily use. The Shadow 750 becomes a bike you keep because it never gives you a reason to let it go. Number 2. Yamaha MT-07. The Yamaha MT-07 earns a place in the garage because it feels lively, light, and easy to trust from the first ride. US riders connect with it right away due to its upright seat, slim body, and low weight that makes tight city moves simple. It responds fast without feeling jumpy, and the chassis gives a steady feel even when you push it a bit on open roads. The shape stays modern without drifting into trends that fade fast, so owners rarely feel the need to replace it. The engine is what seals the deal for most people. The twin-cylinder setup gives smooth power from the bottom and a strong pull in the mid-range where riders spend most of their time. It reacts cleanly to small throttle inputs, stays calm at highway pace, and keeps fuel use fair. Money plays a clear role too. In the US market, the MT-07 sits in the mid-$8,000 range when new, which makes it one of the best deals for a middleweight bike with this level of performance. Because the bike is popular and dependable, it holds strong value on the used market, so owners never feel like they are losing money by keeping it longer. What keeps it around is how natural it feels every day. It blends comfort, power, and low upkeep in a way that fits almost any kind of ride. Once you get used to its quick response and steady manners, there is little reason to let it go. Number 1. Triumph Bonneville T120. The Triumph Bonneville T120 stays with riders because it mixes classic charm, strong build quality, and daily comfort in a way that feels steady year after year. US riders notice the calm, upright seating right away. The bars sit at a natural height, the seat gives firm support, and the chassis feels balanced at both slow and highway speeds. It carries a clean retro style that does not fade with time, which is why owners often say it still feels fresh years later. The engine makes the bond even stronger. The twin-cylinder motor delivers smooth strength in the low and mid-range, which is where most riders sit during daily use. It feels steady at highway pace, responds cleanly to small throttle inputs, and keeps fuel use fair. The motor has a long record for dependability when given routine care. Money also matters, and the T120 sits around the low $13,000 zone when new. For a bike with strong metal parts, a proven motor, and solid finish quality, that cost stays within reach for many riders. On the used market, the T120 holds steady value because it has a strong reputation and a wide base of riders who prefer simple, reliable machines. What keeps it in the garage is how complete it feels. It handles daily travel, longer rides, and calm cruising without asking for much. Once riders settle into its smooth feel and stable nature, they find little reason to part with it. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.